Hi, it's Jason doing a grossing tutorial video on a lumpectomy or a breast lumpectomy specimen. So this is a lump with orientation markers. In this case, they're sutures. We've also got some skin on the surface of the specimen as well. So this is a left breast lumpectomy. The short stitch is designated as superior, the lateral or the long stitch is designated as lateral, I apologize, and then skin is going to be anterior. Now, this portion of skin right here actually grossly looks like probable nipple. So this is probably the nipple right here, but it does not cover the majority or the entire anterior surface. So when I ink this, I'm going to make sure I go ahead and add some ink surrounding this nipple or this portion of skin, because like I said, it does not cover the entire anterior surface. So what I often do with these cases is I put them like they're on me. So this is left breast, lateral, superior, inferior, medial, posterior, anterior. We'll ink it up. I've already given dimensions into my dictation. So you're going to want to do superior, inferior, medial, lateral, anterior, posterior. Give the size or the dimensions of the skin, the ellipse, or the portion of skin. Make a comment that it may be grossly consistent with nipple. And after that, I'm going to section this and lay it out. We'll take a look at it. Sometimes surgeons will ink the entire lumpectomy on their own. So sometimes it comes pre-inked. Sometimes it comes with clips instead of sutures for orientation. It just depends on the surgeon. So I'm going to go and ink this up, and then we'll section it. Now, also as far as inking goes, everybody does inking differently. So in this case, I'm going to do superior red. I'm going to do lateral yellow. Try to mix or blend the colors. Try to keep them in their proper area of the lumpectomy. Medial is going to be orange. Once again, this is left, a left lumpectomy. And then here's going to be inferior. Once again, I'm going to put a little bit of blue around the portion of skin, and I believe this to be nipple. Okay, so we're going to do that. And last, we're going to do the posterior or the deep aspect black. And then we're going to add our mordant or our vinegar, which makes the ink stick. Let that sit there for a few seconds. Try to not touch the breast very much if I don't have to. I use the sutures to kind of pick up the specimen and move it around and whatnot. So now I'm going to section this from medial to lateral, and then we'll lay it out on a napkin. Now these end sections, the medial and lateral sections, I kind of make thick or thicker than the remainder of these slices. So after I get this all sliced up, and it's always easier to make thin slices from the get-go or from the beginning, as opposed to making thick slices and then trying to go back and make them thinner. So you want to do this right the first time. And as I'm cutting, I already feel a marker or a clip within the breast. So that's what happens. Somebody comes in with a abnormal mammogram. They go in, they biopsy the site, and at the same time they put a marker in the specimen in the area of abnormality, and that's what I just got finished cutting through. So now my blade I had before is really dull, so I'm just switching up. Now I'm hitting another marker, looks like. So we got two markers, and those are going to be associated with the lesion, or area of abnormality. So like I said, these end sections I section perpendicularly like this, and it's important to do this and not miss this. I've seen people not do this, and then later on they find out they missed something at the very end of the specimen, a lesion. Let's see if I can pull this radiograph without any patient information. I'll kind of look at that real quick. So yeah, here's the actual radiography image. And there's a marker here and here. So we're expecting two markers. Let's get a closer view of these markers for you. And it's always important to make complete cuts and slices through this, so when you lay it out, you're not picking up an adjacent slice. So in this case here, I've got a little Sabi Scout marker sticking out right here. And then right here, actually, I've got a circular shaped marker was actually kind of involving the dermis, or the deep aspect of the skin, the lips or the nipple. So now we're going to take these slices and lay them out. So what I typically do is I get a napkin. I have my own little plexiglass board, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to lay this out sequentially, and then we're going to radiograph it. And by radiographing it, we'll put it into the case, and the pathology group can actually, by radiographing it, you can actually charge for it. So the machine can pay for itself in the end, the radiography machine, whatever machine you choose. So I'm laying these out sequentially. And sometimes I'll make a second row. In fact, I'm going to do that now, just so I can get a closer up image. So here we go. And then once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and take a photo of it. And then we're going to annotate it. Okay, so I've radiographed the slices and put that into the case. And once again, that'll be a charge that will be made by doing that. And also it's very informative for the pathologist to see the actual slices and the radiograph of the slices and where the markers are and their associations. This is all about associations with these markers, and even if there's a localization wire in place within the lumpectomy, we need to talk about what those markers and what that wire is associated with. So in this case, we have the marker here, which is a Sabi Scout marker. We got another marker here, which is a circular shaped marker here, and we're going to talk about what it's associated with. And what it's associated with is a tumor, and I found this out through palpating. So you want to palpate all the sections, all the slices, and see what you have. Sometimes you'll just have nodular breast parenchyma, depending on if you have DCIS or LCIS or invasive cancer. There's a lot of variation, so it takes a lot of time to remember and figure this out. So in this lumpectomy, here's the skin, here's some more skin. The markers are in these two slices here, but the lesional tissue is only in these two slices, about right here and right there. And it looks like it involves the dermis, like I said earlier. So as far as dimensions go, we've got about 2 millimeters there. We got 3 millimeters there, so we've got 5 millimeters total. And then we've got about 8. It's not an approximate. You need to get a exact number by using a ruler, because this is important for staging and that type of thing. So we've got an 8 by 5 millimeter tumor, which is 0.5 cm from the dermis, and 0.8 cm from the anterior margin, and 10 millimeters or greater from the remainder of the margins. And that's where we kind of end up stopping. After more than 1 centimeter or 10 millimeters, we stop talking about the relationship of the tumor into the margins. So now what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to sample the specimen, and we're going to annotate the sections where we took them from, so the pathologist can do the correlation between the radiograph, where we took the sections, and the histology associated with it. We're also going to make sure we also sample all the margins. So I'm going to do lateral, medial. I'll probably sample the majority of these two sections, because we're going to do a total of 10 cassettes, and you really want to get the tumor and everything that's closest to it as far as margins go, and also its relationship to this nipple or skin. So I'll annotate that next, and also point out where the markers are at, and I'll show you some pictures of that soon.